The states of the Federation have raised an alarm over a lawsuit which might prompt the federal government to take action on London Paris Club refund monies. And drum beats of defection sound loudly in Zamfara state as the PDP chairman says former Governor Abdulaziz Yari and Senator Kabiru Marafa have defected to the PDP tonight. We hear from Senator Marafa the reasons why they are thinking of leaving or dumping the APC for the PDP. A warm welcome to you, everyone. It's Easter Monday, and whatever you may be watching, happy Easter to you, and welcome to Politics Today Live on Channels Television. I'm Joaquim Aloe in Abuja. Let's begin tonight by letting you know that when you see or hear state governments in conflict or disagreement with the federal government, it is more often than not a matter of money or wealth sharing. Another case in point has risen where the 36 states of the Federation have raised an alarm and warned the federal government not to tamper with funds accruing to them and the 774 local government councils. Well, they say that this may be under the guise of satisfying an alleged $418 million London Paris Club loan refund related to judgment debts. In documents seen on Monday by Channels Television, the state says that they were not parties to any suit on the London Paris Club refund and as such were not liable to any person or entity in any judgment debt being relied upon by the federal government. And speaking through the body of Attorney Generals of the Federation, the states warned further that should the federal government proceed to make any such deduction, it will be acting illegally and in contempt of their appeal challenging the judgment they gave the warning in an April 4 letter as a part of the response to a November 11, 2021 letter from the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning advertising the commencement of the deduction of the liquidation of the alleged judgment debts. It's now time for us to check out some of the political roundup, and when we come back, of course, we look at a young Nigerian who was taken to gauntlet. A lot of unusual things may be happening in 2023. More younger people will get into the fray, I tell you, but also we'll be listening to Senator Kabiru Marafa about what could happen in Zamfara APC, the possibility of some members dumping the APC for the PDP as the elections are now nearing. But first, let's check out some of your political roundup stories.
The Yoruba Progressives Union has adopted Olorogun David Adebie as its preferred and sole People's Democratic Party candidate for Delta State governorship elections. This was contained in a communique issued on Sunday, April 17th by the Supreme Governing Body of Yoruba Nation, Yoruba Progressives Union, and signed by Olorogun Dr. Moses Tiaga, President General. Noting that other aspirants are also qualified and fit persons, they pleaded with every Deltan to consider the collective interests of the state above personal ambitions and support David to fly the party's flag as the preferred governorship candidate. In the statement titled Delta State Governorship 2023, Our Stand, Our Choice, the UPU says the choice of Adebie was based on a rigorous engagement with all Delta Central PDP aspirants for the governorship position, for which he emerged as the best. Part of the statement reads, after thoroughly examining and analyzing all the aspirants, we have, however, reached the consensus that Olorogun David is the best person for the job at this time. Over time, he has acquired impressive public sector experience, both locally in Delta State and federal government, and outstanding international development finance experience. Kogi politics. Ahead of the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, a group, Advocate for Gender Equality and Women Empowerment from Kogi West, have called for the consideration of women in choosing the next person to represent Kogi West in 2023 senatorial seat in the state. Ejinwumi Omolade, while addressing a news conference in Lokoja of the state capital, says that it was the turn of Yangba Federal Constituency, which had never produced senators, to be elected for the senatorial seat. She called on political parties to reserve their tickets for women to make sure that Yangba produced the next senator to represent Kogi West. The convener particularly called on the state governor, Yaya Bello, to impress it on all the All Progressives Congress APC to give Yangba a chance, saying that as a gender-sensitive governor who had been championing equal representation, he should, as a necessity, give women a chance this time. She also pleaded with the governor to allow for a level playing field so that the people can pick the choice of whom they will want to govern them.
We're calling on all the political parties of the nation to know that Kogi West Senate ticket must be given to a Yagba person for fairness and equality. We also particularly pleaded with the human governor, Yaya Bello, to honor his promise to the Yagba people as a talk and do personality.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, youths across different political divide and professions in Kwara State have been advised to prepare themselves for leadership positions across the political structure in the country. The coordinator of Kwara Youths and Professionals, Mr. Abdurrahman Muhammad, who made the call in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, also stressed the need for all eligible voters to actualize their dreams by participating in the continuous voter registration exercise in order to enthrone a government of their choice. Mr. Muhammad believes that there's a need to change the narrative of youth being used as political thugs in the country.
There have been caseless calls for inclusion of the young people in the scheme of our national affairs, to tap from the creativity, innovation, vibrancy, energy, and curiosity of characterized usefulness, to rescue our various localities, states, and Nigeria at large.
The All Progressives Congress in Taraba State has cautioned that it will not allow defectors who lost their fight in other political parties to hijack or control its affairs, no matter their positions in the society. The party, while confirming the release of former Governor Jolly Nyame by Council of State, says it is working towards dislodging the zoning arrangement of the People's Democratic Party by sticking to competency. However, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is insisting that the APC is already frustrated and bound to fail again, as it has blocked all the loopholes which gave them a little sigh of relief in previous elections.
Yes, I can confirm to you that there's no more rumors that Reverend Jolly Nyame is about to be set free, or is being set free. For his participation in politics or whatever, I think it's too early to make any comment on.
Look, I tell you most sincerely, everyone, tonight, that in the 2023 elections, there will be a lot of unusuals. And these will be in several sense. I mean, you must have heard when people say it is youth o'clock. Yes, it appears more younger people may make some audacious move to challenge the status quo in Nigerian politics. One of these is the young man of 36 years who declared to run for the Ondo Central Senatorial seat. Dr. Tola Awoshika is a serial entrepreneur, economist, political enthusiast, and an astute businessman. He has a history of running successful companies, and most recently, he's established new sphere of business outfits, and now he's turning into mainstream politics by declaring to run for the Ondo Central Senatorial seat on the platform of the APC. Dr. Tola Awoshika joins me from our Lagos studio tonight. Thank you, Dr. Awoshika, for joining us tonight. It does look to me that, like people now saying, is youth o'clock. Are you on that bandwagon? Or what exactly inspired your move to wanting to become a senator?
How you doing, Sherry? Happy Easter. Yes, indeed. The youth o'clock notion has been going around, and a lot of people catching that fire and wanting to get involved in the process. For me, getting involved in the process of elective office has been a build-up. It wasn't just an overnight decision. It's something I prepared myself for a number of years now, and I feel like now is the time where our country is at a very, very critical point where we need new ideas, we need fresh ideas, we need bold people to come out. And if we don't step forward, we won't be given the chance. And I think our country, from history, has been led by young people. It's not new. The idea of the youth taking office is not a new ideology. Prior to our democracy, a lot of the leaders took office at a very young age, and they did a good job in getting our country from A to B. So I think now is a time where the younger generation has kind of stepped aside for the longest time, and now I think they've come to the realization that they're going to have to take chances on governance, and they're going to have to, be in charge of their own destiny. So for me, it's very simple. I've prepared myself for this particular moment, and it's not really about the green chamber or the red chamber. It's about the responsibility to get involved in government, responsibility to take our generation that's been put aside for the longest, the responsibility to give and to contribute back to society in every way that I can. And that's what I plan to do, and that's what we are going to do.
So I see you as someone who has made his mark running businesses from hospitality to pharmaceuticals and to medicine, to entertainment. You've had your hands on different kind of businesses, and you want to leave all of that and focus on politics. Some people will say that's a big risk. Do you see it as such?
Everything in life is a risk. For me, I've spent the last 13 years dedicating myself to the private sector. By virtue of doing that, I've been able to see all the loopholes and the issues. It hasn't been a smooth journey over the last 13 years. We've had to really, really fight for where we are. And I believe, taking that experience into government and into governance, we're able to lay a good foundation for those who want to get involved in business, those who want to get involved in building businesses and helping our economy and private sector. We're able to look inward as far as where we were when we started and where we need to be. For me, that's the reason why I'm willing to put everything on the line. And, with building businesses, just like in politics, there's a time and season for everything. For me, I've always wanted to build businesses that would outlive me. It's not about me. It's not about my name. It's not about my ambition. It's about seeing things thrive and contributing my own quota to the nation, helping with the employment deficit. All this I've been able to do as a CEO, as a business person, and I'll continue to do that from a distance by getting involved in elections, getting involved in governance, representing the people properly. And I believe if we're able to do that constructively, it will have a ripple effect on the private sector and even businesses that we've been able to build. So ultimately, this is the bigger picture to able to equalize opportunities for everyone, and that's the reason why we're getting involved in this whole system.
So, are we going into your understanding of the task ahead? Should you be the elected candidate, and should you get the flag should you be the flag bearer, and should you be elected into the Senate? But first and foremost, you said you are prepared for this. What do you mean?
So for me, I spent the last 13 years in different industries. I am a heavy investor in the healthcare sector. I have a manufacturing plant in Ogun State. I'm a heavy investor in hospitality across the country, from the north to the east to the west to the south. I'm a heavy investor in power and energy. These are major sectors in the economy that I've seen the struggle real time. I have been through real life experiences. I know how long it took. It took 10 years to get my manufacturing plant up from the concept to production. that time frame could have been shortened. There were a lot of red tape and a lot of bottlenecks that we had to go through that I believe going into government, we've seen some of these challenges in the private sector. We have the experience, we have the network, we know what it takes, we know the issues that we had. I believe we can use that experience and use that energy into public sector and make life a lot easier, ease of doing business, and ultimately it affects our economy, it affects our people, and it makes us a progressive nation. And I think that I've prepared myself across all these major sectors, and going into the Senate, going into government, I believe I'll be able to represent the people correctly, and I'll be able to really, really engage community, really, really be community conscious about some of these different challenges that we face, and represent them properly, and also, bring new opportunities and new ideas. And it's all about the approach. So for me, we'll be going in there with a new approach. We'll be going in there with a more strategic approach to how laws are implemented, how laws are made, and the kind of laws to be made. So all this we're going to bring to the table and more.
Okay, so when we heard that you threw your heart in the ring, and this is one of the reasons why I spoke with my producer to get across to you, in the sense that a 36-year-old, you're just a year above the age mark for that seat. And it's interesting that it does look like you're taking up a challenge. You're challenging the status quo. For a lot of people who have been challenging and asking young people to take up the challenge and get up and stand up and be counted in the politics of Nigeria. So we were interested in speaking with you, and also to understand whether or not you are just one out of several youths who will be doing this, or there is going to be a rush of young people in this respect. But what you have explained tonight does look to me that you being a CEO, you'll be running your own business, but the business of lawmaking is slightly different. It could be frustrating if you want something done for your own people because you're a lawmaker, you're not in the executive. Do you understand the intricacies of what it means? Because I look at some of the manifesto that you have put out in the public, you're talking so much like an executive, not much as a lawmaker to be.
I mean, I do understand the limits and the restrictions you have as a lawmaker, but I also do understand what it is to represent your people properly. As far as being a senator, you have 6 local governments across your senatorial district. This is a huge volume, a huge population of people that you need to represent appropriately. I believe in collaboration. I think one thing that the young people in Nigeria are going to do differently as far as government is concerned is collaborations across party lines, across offices. So I believe a good collaboration between the Senate, the House of Representatives, the House of Assembly, the executive at the State House level would see a good collaboration between all of us, new ideas, in terms of moving our district, moving our state forward. So even though I might not have budget provisions to do certain things, I believe representing the people as far as lawmaking, and also, a true representation, also bringing my ideas, bringing my network, bringing my vision, and collaborating with key executive players that can help move some of these ideas forward. I think being a senator and having a seat on that table would give them a listening ear, and we'll also be able to exchange ideas. And I believe together we'll be able to move not just our district forward, but the entire state. And I think even as it stands, the House of Reps members that are currently representing us across the senatorial district have done a good job with doing that. I mean, my local government has an extremely good record as in the last 4 years is concerned as far as infrastructure, development, and so many things that the rep member has been able to use his network and use his position to get things across to the people, to bring prosperity, to bring employment, to bring infrastructure. While he's still limited to his office, he's been able to use that position. And I think this is what young people are going to bring to the table. We're going to think outside the box, how we can truly represent our people so they can feel the impact directly. And I think that's what I'm going to be bringing to the table, and that's what's going to be different about our generation and how we do things.
We here at China Television will be looking out for your likes who are taking up that responsibility to stand up and be counted. But the question is, for your party, the APC, do you think you stand a chance as a young people? Considering what I'm hearing, that there's a long list of those who are establishment people who have queued up for this same seat for years.
Yes, that's a very good question. For me, for those who understand the dynamics in Ondo State and how the Ondo politics is, our electorate, as far as the Ondo people, they are very, very independent-minded. They are very objective. They are very enlightened. This is the electorate. And this is evident, and this has been evident in previous governments. Even as much as our most current leader and our governor, who is the leader of our party, he came in through a very, very objective, despite all the odds. He was able to scale through because the people wanted him. And this has been evident in numerous elections, across our state. So I think this is not going to be different this time around. I think the people are going to make their choice, irrespective of whatever portfolios or whatever giants or whatever Goliaths that it might be. I think the people are going to think very carefully about what they want as far as representation, and they're going to make their choice. And I think their choices are going to be respected, and we look forward to what that's going to be.
Now, so how much of your people do you understand and know? Because these are some of the criticisms coming from your own local district, saying you are a son of the land, but how much of the language or your dialect do you speak? How much of your people do you know? What can you say in this respect?
So for me, I have spent the last 4 years in doing philanthropical work as far as the Ondo Central is concerned. And that has made me connect more with the people, be community conscious, engage the community. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot more to learn. I happen to be, I was fortunate enough to school abroad. So because of that, there's a little bit of a, language barrier as far as the local dialect is concerned. But I've also done an amazing job, in my own personal opinion, of, learning the languages, across the Central, because it's not just about my own local dialect. There are different languages across. And because I want to represent the people truly, I'm truly interested in making sure I can communicate in whatever, whatever language, it might be. So I'm doing that. But as far as understanding the challenges that we have as far as the Central is concerned, I think I have a pretty good view of what that is. As a philanthropist, as Tola Washika Foundation, we have done our own and we continue to do our own contributions as far as solving some of those problems in the education sector, in the rural areas, as far as basic infrastructure like water, electricity. Those things are issues that exist and will continue to exist, and we're facing them one day at a time. And I believe, given the opportunity to serve, I have a holistic understanding of a lot of those challenges, and I believe going in there would have would have the capacity to be able to solve a lot of those challenges very, very quickly, because it's not a very difficult thing to do. It's all about understanding, listening to the people, giving them feedback on what can be done, looking at things from a broader perspective, with new ideas, with more strategic approach. And I think we'll get the job done that way.
On a final note, perhaps the essence and the purpose of your invitation tonight is because you represent a segment of the voting population in Nigeria that is seen as the largest and perhaps the most influential, but unfortunately are laid back on election day. You are going to first and foremost be faced with a collegiate process of election. That is the party primary, which, of course, you have to be entrenched in the local politics of your party to be able to emerge victorious, except if you have what they call the godfathers who can help you out in that respect. But on a fun note, in the context of what I've portrayed, of what I've said now, How easy is it for a young person to get into politics? If you can share your few minutes of experience, a few months of experience getting into the fray with fellow young people who are still thinking about getting into politics ahead of 2023.
So I think young people have always been involved in politics, whether directly or indirectly. You have a lot of young people who have served politicians for many years, who have been aides, whether it's a special advisor or a personal assistant or a senior special advisor, whatever the case might be. This is still indirectly being involved in the process. Now, as far as an elective office, it's a completely different ballgame, like you rightly said. You need to be ready. I'm ready in the sense that it comes with a lot of challenges. First of all, you need to be able to give up all your time. You need to be able to give up your resources. You need to be able to have a thick skin for different things that will come your way. But I think more importantly, on a more positive note, you need to be resilient. You need to be passionate about making change, true representation. You need to really be going in there for the right reasons. For me, I'm not going into politics because I want to make a name for myself. I'm not going into politics because I'm trying to enrich myself. By the special grace of God, in all sense of humility, we've attained a lot of those things at a very young age. For us, right now, is about impact. It's about encouraging the younger generation of people who want to get involved. And I believe when this process ends, we would see an influx of people because there will be an example, there will be a reference point. And I would stand tall to always encourage whoever it is that comes after me to get involved in this process because I know how tedious it is. I know how expensive it is. I know how it can be a little bit imbalanced. But we live to keep fighting. The people who are in office today also had their own battles to face, also had their own challenges, and they stuck by it, and they did what they had to do. This time, we're not a generation that gives up. We're a generation that goes after success. So this shouldn't be any different. If you're truly compassionate about getting involved and making a difference and ensuring your country can move from height to height, now is the time. This is our plan. And we'll always be willing to welcome anyone that wants to get involved in that process. And God willing, this will be a successful journey for us, and we'll live to tell the story and encourage many others to come after.
Dr. Tola Awoshika, businessman, now turned politician, who has thrown his hat in the ring for the Ondo Central Sanitary District. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Shem.
Well, Tola's case is an example of what we're trying to encourage, our own way of encouraging young people who have a lot of influence to get into politics. And of course, we're also looking forward to encouraging women who are in politics. We'll be seeing more of that on the program here ahead of the 2023 general elections. Those seemingly part of the population that are somewhat left behind, we're going to bring them right to the front banner. Now, we go into the politics of Zamfara State, where the People's Democratic Party, PDP, says former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, Senator Kabiru Marafa, and other top APC members have defected to the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The chairman of the PDP in Zamfara State on Sunday in Guzo, after a state working committee meeting, says that Colonel Bala Mande says that the party has received former Governor Yari and Senator Marafa and other top APC members who have joined the party together with their supporters. They are only waiting to be formally welcome them into the PDP. Let's take a listen to Colonel Mande, the chairman of the PDP in Zamfara State.
The essence of this meeting today is to give an update to our stakeholders on the joining of our party by former Governor, His Excellency Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, and his group who have joined us from APC to the PDP. I have given the stakeholders a complete update of where we are. They have joined us. We have reached an agreement, and we are going to implement the agreement. So our party has been boosted in strength by their joining us. All the groups, all the people that are in his group, they are joining.
Retired Colonel Bala Mande, the PDP chairman in Zamfara State. Is it true that Senator Marafa has joined the PDP, and as well as Governor Abdulaziz Yari with their supporters moving away from the APC? How true is that story? It was all over the place yesterday from what the PDP chairman has said. But tonight, we'll be hearing from the horse's mouth if there's anything like that. Senator Kabiru Marafa will be joining us tonight. He's already with me, but we need to take a break. And when we come back, we'll be hearing from Senator Marafa why himself and former Governor Yari wants to dump the APC for the PDP. There are some crises that we are not aware of. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Let me give you some context into our next discussion on the program. Zamfara State is particularly very interesting. If you remember in 2019, there was an infighting, a legal logjam, so much that the party APC lost Zamfara State, an election where they had higher votes, but those votes, about 500,000 of those votes were thrown into the trash can because of the internal issues before the election and during the election. In the APC, Senator Marafa was one of those who were aggrieved about what was happening. Himself and the former Governor Yari, at some point, when Governor Matawale of the PDP at the time was sworn in, later is moved from the PDP to the APC. Now, those whom he left or he came to meet in the APC, we are now hearing that they are leaving him in the APC to go back to where Governor Matawale is coming from. There seems to be some, you might be looking confused there, all right? Well, let me get you some clarity. Senator Kabiru Marafa joins us here in the studio. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us.
Thank you,
First and foremost.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much for creating time. I know this is your prayer time, but thank you so much for making time to clarify these issues.
Always welcome.
First and foremost, have you left the APC?
No.
So, is that true what Colonel Mande said?
Well, I have the privilege of listening to him now, and I think maybe he got some mixed up somewhere. The truth of the matter is we are discussing with PDP. There is no doubt about that. And
how long have you been discussing with them?
Well, let me say for a very long time, because they approached us quite a few months back, maybe 6 months or more.
That was even before, shortly after Governor Matawale defected?
Not shortly. You know, Matawale now is almost a year, maybe, in the party. Almost, maybe 9, 10 months now. I think it was, he decamped somewhere June, maybe July, I don't know. But we started this thing maybe some 5 months ago or so. And it now crystallizes into very serious talks, you know, in the last few weeks after the release of INEC timetable and so on and so forth. And it was intensified, you know, and leading to both groups setting up committees now to sit together. So we set up a committee that met with the PDP, and they set up a committee and they sat together, you know. The highest administrative machinery of the party was involved into it. And we asked them to go and look at all the gray areas, all the problems, all the prospects, you know, and to represent us in the true sense of representation, our character, who we are and what we stand for, and our experiences. And this is what we said. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the committee just briefed the main committee that set them off just yesterday, I think. So for somebody anywhere to say that we have moved, I think I can forgive my senior brother, Colonel Balamande. Maybe he is overjoyous. Maybe, you know, the position of PDP in Zamfara State. And having a block like ours joining the party, might be a source of, excitement or something. But fact of the matter is, we have not joined yet. We are still talking. We have all the options on our table now.
Okay. So before now, you had the Marafa bloc in the APC. You had the Yari bloc. But when Governor Matawale joined, he brought with himself some people from the PDP, supporters in the PDP. So you have now the Matawale bloc, the Marafa bloc, the Yari bloc. The Yari and the Marafa bloc were not together. You were not in sync. In fact, you were at loggerheads before the election. But it does look now that you are on the same page, singing from the same hymn book, isn't it?
I think we have discussed this even in this studio, Mr. Sheun. What happened between me and Yari was total failure of leadership in the APC at that time that refused to do what they were supposed to do, because party is supreme to any politician, because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria makes it mandatory for anybody wishing to contest any election to do it under the platform of a political party. We don't have independent candidates in Nigeria. Therefore, once you agree to be a party member, then you have to subject or submit yourself, to the rules and regulations of that party. So if the party had done what they were supposed to do, that is calling everybody on the table to say, look, what is happening between you, my children? What is it? Yes, state your own, state your own, state your own. Okay, we have heard you now. And this is what we said that should be done. I'm sure it would have happened. Now, the party became so reluctant to do that. To us, it is like we are happy with what is happening in Zamfara, kind of. Now, what happened. We lost out completely. Then shortly after losing out, the party woke up from its slumber. And they now invited everybody. And like I said, when you are having a problem in your house and your father decided to invite the two of you, if any one of the children says he's not coming, what is the consequence? You leave the house. So there is nobody the party will invite, and he or she having believing that he's a member of that party and will say, no, I will not come. So the outgone leadership now invited all of us to say that, look, come over, let's discuss.
That's the Buni-led caretaker
committee. The Buni-led caretaker committee.
Okay.
Now, they invited us, I think, somewhere in February 2020 or thereabout. I can't remember. Or 2021. I think it was 2020, I think. Now, they invited us, sat us down, heard from all the parties, and now said that, look, enough of this fight. Please, we want you to be one team. We have lost out the state, but looking at your strength and everything, we know that it's just a question of another election. We will win back our state back, in the folds of APC. So please, we are appealing to you. Bury your hatchet, come together, work together, and forge ahead. Let's see what we have, how we are going to face 2023. We all agreed. We don't have personal problems, me and Yari. Personally, we don't have. There was political disagreement, and we disagreed, and we all fought to the end, okay? So now it is over. We all have the experience, and we now decided to put the experience behind us. Now, shortly after that, now the party again went back to say that, okay, we know that before now, we relied on God, for success and you people that God has given us. But now we want governors. It is only governors that can bring about success to APC. That is, in short, what the Buni-led caretaker, did at that time.
So you were shut out
of the running? From nowhere, yes, we were told
your bloc
that,
and that of Governor Yari was shut out.
Exactly.
As soon as the governor entered into the
party.
Now,
from nowhere, they called us and said that the governor is desirous of joining the party. We said, fine and good, because party, you cannot stop anybody from joining party. But after joining, we now said, okay, before joining, we need to look at things. He owns the government machinery in his hands. We own the party. Whether you like us or not, the party, we built the party. It is our property. So let us sit down and see how can we share, what we have, the two of us. The party went, throw caution to the wind, and just went to Gusau and said, we have dissolved the party and handed over the party, to the governor. In disobedience to the constitution of the party itself. They made a 3-man caretaker committee, which was illegal, do everything. And that was the beginning of the problem. So now, with the governor family in control, since the powers that be in Abuja, are in support of him, now he took over the party, and we cried, we talked, okay, politics is game of number. Let us hold on to our people. Let us sit down and see. And you see, the beauty of life is when somebody is closing a door behind you or before you, another person is opening another door. So other political parties started rolling red carpet, in fact. Red carpet for us. Come over, come over. We said, no, look, we are not quitters. Okay? You can't hit us and just, we say, we run away and say, no. You hit us, we hit you back. So we said we are going to fight the Mala-led committee, the Memalwa-led committee to the end. And we went to court and do everything. And the rest is now history. Everybody knows what is happening.
Okay, so the Memala Buni is out of office now.
Now,
there's a new dispensation. There is the Abdullahi Adamu dispensation.
Exactly.
Have you, has your bloc been able to meet with the new leadership of the APC NWC on this matter? Or you've just lost hope in the process?
No. Now, the thing is the reverse. Now, we have been heavily brutalized by the party. Let me use the word. Brutalized by the party. Under the Memala committee. And as a people, we say, okay, fine. We are not quitters. We are not going anywhere. We are going to remain here. And we are going to fight you. And we are going to fight you to the end. Okay? Now, when, by the special grace of God, they were disgraced out of office and they left, and there is a new leadership, now we felt the onus is on the leadership to now look and say, okay, what did we inherit? And thank God the people that came on board are not new. They are not from the moon. They are part of the system, so they know everything. So, and I think they have extended an olive branch already, but not to me. But Governor Yadu fully briefed me that the Abdullahi Adamu-led NWC now, that is the leadership of the party, has invited him for a meeting, and I think they have the first one. And I think the party also made some offers and so on and so forth. So he briefed me fully on that. And that is one of the options. And some of the smaller parties also they have availed, their platform to us to contest whatever we want to contest. In fact, everything about the party. So we have all the 4 options, I think, about 4 or 5 of them. We have everything on the table. And it is left to, politics is about people. It's not an individual thing. If it were just about me or Yadi himself, I'm sure it's a decision that you can take within 5 minutes.
So, but let me ask you directly now. Should the party give you what you want? And I'd like to know what exactly that is. Would you change your mind from going to the PDP?
Sure, you see, this is a $1 billion question. You see, a lot of things has happened in the APC. Let me be very, very frank with you. And we felt the Memala-led NWC, or, well, it was not NWC, the Memala-led leadership has inflicted serious injuries on the APC. It will take a little time for people to realize it. I have said it even before you in this program several times that if APC is not careful, now the injuries inflicted on it could lead to its extinction. So as a politician or as politicians, we need to sit down and look at everything, pragmatically and analyze. I'm a politician. I am leading people, multitude of people. Now, can I just entrust everything, their fate and everything in a sinking ship? So we have to decide, is this platform really okay? Can it take us to our desired destination? Are these injuries curable? Can we, in every sense of it, say that we can scale all these things? Because it is one thing to be in the APC. It is quite another to be in Nigeria. When you come to the Nigerian platform, now, Nigeria doesn't belong to APC or to any political party. So when the chips are down, justice would be dispensed, as it is, not because you are APC or you are PDP. So we need to look at everything. We need to scrutinize PDP itself, the party that, this is part of the reasons that I am now telling you that when somebody says we have just entered, we cannot just enter a political party like that. So who is PDP? We look at PDP. What is PDP up to? Are they prepared today to take over power? Because politics is all about taking power.
All right, Senator,
yes.
yeah, I'd like to ask a quick question because to get to the point so that our viewers can understand. So you have not made up your mind to move yet?
Not
yet.
Yes, not yet now.
But should the party do the right thing to you, you will still stay in the APC?
No, get me right. Yeah, get me right. We are looking at all the options. APC,
so it's not as if
PDP,
you will not leave.
Yes, but we have reached an advanced stage
of leaving
PDP. Yes. So we are the only problem here is the word that they have joined. No, we have not joined yet.
Oh, you're in the
because
process.
if we
you
are
one
process,
leg out of APC and one leg in PDP.
Well, we don't need to be one leg. We are fully sitting here, and it is just a question of just crossing tomorrow. So I don't even need to because we are not used to splitting our legs. I'm not that kind of politician.
So is it possible that you are going to finalize your movement before the primaries?
Yes, maybe very soon. It all depends on. You see, we have been thoroughly bashed. So it is only reasonable now that we take our time and take quality decisions.
All right. So another question I will ask is this about money and sharing?
How do you mean? I don't understand.
That you are not happy.
Where is the money?
By saying in the APC.
Where is the money in the APC?
Why are you?
APC has been. Let me tell you.
And you said
APC has been so unfair to the people of Zamfara State, so much so that now, upon all the contributions we have made everywhere and all of us, APC didn't give us almost nothing. What do we have? So where is the money to share? Who is holding any position of sharing? Who? Nobody, nothing. I think we have only some few slots of, Federal Commissioner of, MPC, if there is money in Population Commission, I think. And we have another one in federal character, and who again? So what did the APC...
so what would you say is your major grievance? Because you just summarize it as being bashed. But what exactly
is when somebody comes... Sharon, do you know what it means for somebody to come and eject you from your house, the house that you have sweated to build? Huh? Take your wives, take your children, take everything, and donate everything to somebody else.
So your grievance is not against Governor Matawale?
No. We have nothing to do, nothing against Matawale, nothing. Matawale is just, a tool, maybe in the hands of the former leadership. But we have no problem with Matawale again, at all. Our grievance is with the Maimala-led committee, because
he has since left.
He is not here since left. But the foundations he has led for APC, it will take all the prayers of APC members. It will take divine guidance and this thing for the Abdullahi Adamu led NWC to succeed, because he has led landmines. This man was not ready to quit the stage. His intention from day one, their intention was to conduct primaries. Okay? So that is why you can see that even during the convention, there was no ballot paper. When Adams of Eshimole came on board, he came through consensus. But there was balloting. People voted for Oshimole. But during Abdullah Adamu's voting, did you see any vote? The reason is the CECPC were not ready to conduct any convention. If not for the intervention of the 19 governors led by Governor El Rufai, that jolted the whole process and came out to expose the CECPC. Then they were forced to now respect the 26th of March date. And things were done hurriedly, to just to respect that date. And that is just what happened. So our grievance has always been with the CECPC leadership. and it is still with that body. And we still have that S to grind with them, wherever they are.
Is there any possible remedy to make you stay in the APC?
You cannot shut all doors in politics. Yeah, well, like I said, we don't have anything personal. There is nothing. So, but all we are saying is if there is fairness on their side, which I don't see how they can make it, because the injuries are fatal. They are they have mortally, what do you call it, stabbed the APC to the extent that you never, when you start thinking of it, now how can it happen?
All right, so let me ask you, for those who imagine that, those who have predicted that after President Buhari's exit out of office, after his tenure as president, there might be, the APC might find it difficult to stand the test of time when President Buhari leaves office. Is this a signal that those who have said that were right?
I can assure you that I am one of those people that think that way. And looking at the happenings today, I think all pointers, points to that direction. Let me be very frank with you. To me, as a politician, APC today is surviving and thriving because of the failure of the opposition to act correctly and to do the right thing. If they had 2023 would have been over by now. Yes, take it from me. I'm telling you this. But the opposition, especially the PDP, their body language is not quite inspiring. And that is why everybody is like looking from a little distance. What is going to happen? And this is part of the things each and every politician of substance needs to look at before you just jump into. We are not the kind of politicians that we are not political prostitutes that jumps from one party to another today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. No. We are forced to take the decisions we are taking now. APC pushed us out. It is not like we want to take ourselves out of APC. No. APC pushed us out.
Could this generate more people leaving the APC?
Definitely, undoubtedly. I'm just telling you, the only reason why people are not moving out is because the body language of the opposition, is not quite encouraging. They are not doing what they are supposed to do.
What could be the implication for 2023 election and the presidential election?
The implication is if God gives you or blessed you with something big and you are not grateful to him, what happens next? He takes it out away from you.
What does that mean?
What it means is God has blessed APC with the country's leadership at a point when a lot of people believed that you cannot beat incumbent. But God performed wonders.
You think that the APC might not be able to hold on to power in 2023?
Yes, it depends on how the opposition behaves. It depends on that. Because people are not blind. People are not crazy. People want protection, wants to live in peace. People want prosperity. A lot of things. Can't you see what we are facing today?
But is the APC not able to provide all of that?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe the next interview between me and you, I would want you to do it in Zamfara. So we will go to Zamfara together with you. Come over, then interview me there. Then maybe you would know what I'm talking about. So, Shaun, this is not a laughing matter. It's a very serious matter. It's a very serious matter. So we only hope and we pray that we are able to put our act together and do the needful and do the right thing. And if that happens, then I think everybody would be happy and everything. But as of now, I'm telling you, there are a lot of problems. People are not happy. And the last administration of the APC, like I said, have inflicted so much injury. So the Abdullahi Adamu-led leadership today, they have a lot of work to do. But unfortunately for them, they have very, very limited time. So I hope the caliber of people, some of them, I know them, I work with them, and I know their integrity, their capacity. I'm sure they would be able to work day and night to see if they can do something.
We are totally out of time.
Yes, they need to do
how do I reference you now? Can I still call you an APC chieftain?
Yes, I am. One.
You're still in APC?
Yes, I am.
Not one leg in, one leg out?
No. I don't do one leg in one. I am fully in APC today.
Can we say same for Yari?
Yes, you can take that 100%. For all our members, all of us are in APC today.
Until you leave. Until you formally leave.
When we formally leave, we would be the ones to make the announcements by ourselves, not through a proxy.
So yes, you are denying what Colonel Mande has said.
I'm sure there is, like I said, maybe he was excited. And looking at his picture also, I said, my senior brother is becoming old. I can see it. So I don't know what really happened. But the Colonel Balam, that I know, very vibrant, very intelligent, very sharp, very focused and everything. You know, it is very difficult when you live in the opposition for too long. And as a war veteran, I don't know, as a soldier rather, I'm sure maybe something happened. But the actual thing is we have not moved. But all our baggage and everything is ready. You know, we at any
ready
point,
for the journey of defection.
Yes, we can defect so to any political party of our choice.
Senator Kabiru Marafa.
Thank you.
Some people are already calling you a warrior. That you're always at, you're always battling. But thank you so much for coming.
That is one of the mentoring I would want to leave to the youth that are following us. You know, to always stand up for your right. If you know that something is right, say it.
All right.
If you know that something is right, pursue it.
Okay.
And to the young man, when I came in, I saw you interviewing a young man from Ondo State that is aspiring to be a senator, and I could hear the words of encouragement you are giving. And this is part of what I want to see the youths of today do. I hate the politics we are doing where everybody is just subservient and waiting for an opportunity to take over from his boss and start biting his boss. I am not the kind of politician. Right. I'm not that kind of politician.
We're totally out of time,
Senator. Tell you, yes to your face. If I agree, I agree. If I don't, I tell you I don't. And whatever happens.
Senator Kabiru Marafa, thank you so much. Senator Kabiru Marafa is a chieftain of the APC, but with his baggage to go to the PDP. Thank you so much.
Not only PDP. No, yes.
We are
not PDP.
Senator.
Yeah, I can go to any political party.
I know.
It's not only
One
the
cannot
PDP.
just simply tickle you. You will just... Thank you so much for coming on the program. That's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Akimbale. Bye for now.